What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell.
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
How can we expect anyone to respect us if we cannot respect each other? It's really important that we acknowledge each other's pain without comparing and attacking, because I'm choosing to share my story as well. You know,
That's
I think it's so important that people are reminded of who they want.
Before she said that, I think that's because people get easily triggered. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you say something that is bothering you and a person is listening to that, sometimes what you're saying can just trigger them into getting defensive.
For no reason at all.
Yeah, what's going on with my face?
Nothing.
You just want to touch me. Look at her, y'all. Look how she be. You just want to touch me.
You silly.
Respect each other. It's really important that we acknowledge each other's pain without comparing and attacking, because I'm choosing to share my story as well. You know, I think it's so important that people are reminded of who they once were or whence they came from, right? And you talk about some stereotypes that colored people themselves need to rid themselves of, or things they need to re-educate or understand about themselves to move on. Like, for example, wearing baggy pants for anyone who's been in prison was because the clothes didn't fit, so you just kind of made it look cool, and then it became a style or a fashion. And there are similar things that could happen, I think, across the board in all race or cultures or traditions. For you, what are some of the things that you want colored people to know that maybe they should let go of, or maybe they need to understand exactly where that particular thing comes from?
One of the things that I did a lot of research on is the front teeth missing thing, right? Colored people weren't alcoholics to begin with. They were introduced to alcohol to sell their land. So the trade to get their land from Khoi people was to introduce alcohol to them, make them addicted to alcohol, and then take their land from them in exchange for alcohol. So when you want to call...
Yeah, that is a jaw dropper. But it's no different from trading guns or giving them weaponry. You know what I'm saying? So they can start to give them what they're asking for.
Fight against each other.
And as well as to fight against each other. And when it comes to stereotypes, man, I think it just also comes, who's the loudest in the room? Because whoever's is making that blame on a person's life to make it seem like this is what they're called to be, or this is what happens when you dress a certain way or look a certain way, that stereotype is born. And the loudest person in the room who's getting the most love and attention can easily shift the mindset and makes people fall in love with an idea that don't really hold no weight.
Right.
But because it looks and it fits a narrative, sometimes people just roll with the punches and say, oh, that gotta be true. That gotta be true. He got locks, oh, he gotta be up to no good. Or his pants sagging, he gotta be having something on him that's gonna hurt somebody. Things of that nature that really don't even make sense. Really.
Right. And I think I have seen that across all of our cultures, you know. Like for our culture, she spoke on the baggy pants in jail in South Africa. In our culture, that's what sagging came from. Yeah. Right? And it's now I don't know, I don't want to go that way, but that's what sagging came from. But stereotype in our culture that I just despise, I really do, is that black people are lazy.
Okay. Yeah.
Where that come from?
Definitely, I heard that before.
Where did it come from? Because basically, we was brought here to work.
Yeah.
I have never ran across no lazy person in my family. If they were lazy, they had something going on with them. You know, maybe drugs or whatever. But
something that slowed them down.
Yeah, but across the board, my people are the most hardest working people I have ever known. Yeah. I hate that stereotype.
Yeah. And the reason why I said being the loudest in the room can create a stereotype, because for them, they was the loudest in the room when it came to offering alcohol. And then as it grew into the culture, being that it was happening that way, it became such a loud volume that people looked at it and thought that was their lifestyle. But there's always history. If you go all the way back in history, there's always something that's going to give you the reason to why the domino effect started.
Right. So. And you say that she said her people were given alcohol so that they could take their land from them.
Yeah.
And so now the people who took the land
yeah.
is like, oh, they're alcoholics. And what I was just talking about, our people are the hardest working people I've ever known. When we had to have when the civil rights came into play, and y'all had to pay us the same amount that you paid everybody else.
Yeah. And
our people started saying, no, I'm not working for that amount. No, I'm not doing it. You do it.
Yeah.
That's when we started being called lazy.
Exactly.
Oh.
When you want to call colored people alcoholics or addicts, again, understand where that was introduced. My people were never alcoholics. When we talk about the front teeth being missing, there are two facts that really stood out for me when I was researching it. And the one was, part speculation is that colored people's front teeth were removed so they could stop speaking their mother tongue. And it was a way to help them it was a way to rid them of their culture. So if they couldn't speak their mother tongue, they had to learn English to be able to communicate, or Afrikaans to be able to communicate. The other thing was that Khoi people didn't want to be sold into slavery. When slaves were picked, the value of slaves were determined by their dental hygiene and their dental health. So they would remove their front teeth so that they wouldn't be forced into slavery, because then they wouldn't be a valuable slave.
Oh, I wish that was longer.
And it gets deeper than that. It's crazy how, just because of that one question she asked and how she was breaking it down about the front teeth, how many barriers she was finna go down. And people don't realize that when it comes to history, there's so many barriers that goes into why people do what they do, why families look the way they look, why there's this operation or the system in place. There's barriers behind all of this stuff and reasons. Nothing is a coincidence at all. I promise you that.
I feel her. I really do. You know, a lot of times on our videos, I may not have tears, but I'm angry. And it's because I'm so connected to my people.
Yeah.
You know, and there's still things that I'm finding out because the United States is so big, you know, and there's different people groups. Maybe in places across the continent of Africa, they may look at us as a monolith here, but we are not.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not even speaking on, you know, all of the black people here. I'm speaking of the people who descended from slaves.
Yeah.
Oh, take that back. Enslaved people, right? We all have different experiences based on where our people were in the United States. And
it's all
these
different.
stories, a lot of them empower me to continue to be a culture bearer for my people and our history. And I love learning about colored people in South Africa, because the more you learn about them, the more you realize our stories are similar.
Yeah, that is true. And the more you go into history, the more your lens are clean.
Oh, yeah.
Because, man, people see things, that is crazy.
It flipped off like that girl in that viral video.
Yeah, because people, dang it, what was I going to say? Yeah, because people go off of what they see today without realizing that your lens are probably the most foggiest.
Yeah.
Because you're only going off of one lens, like off of how things is being operated today. But in reality, things have been created for things to operate the way it is today. You got to understand that to understand the other. It's like balance. You got to understand both heads of the coin for you to want to even spin it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So I would love to know, like, some of the colored people who still have, like, the missing 2 front teeth. What are your reason of having that today? Is it, you know, based on what she was saying, or is it like a culture preservation that you are doing? Like, let us know that.
We did do a video on it one time.
We did.
I forgot what their reasonings was.
It's been a while.
It's been a
while.
Yeah.
So
I remember doing it, though. It's in the boat. It's in the boat.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.